Walking into a gym at 60 and seeing younger people effortlessly doing squats and lunges can be intimidating, but here's something most people don't realize. You don't need complicated workout routines or fancy equipment to build powerful, pain-free legs that will carry you confidently through your golden years. In fact, if you're over 60 and trying to do too many different leg exercises, you're likely wasting your time and energy on movements that won't give you the functional strength you actually need in your daily life. The truth is, there are only 5 specific exercises that truly matter for seniors who want strong, stable legs, and I'm going to walk you through each one today so you can start seeing real results within weeks. Before we dive into these 5 essential movements, let me tell you why most leg workout advice for seniors is completely backwards. You probably heard trainers say you need to do endless leg extensions on machines or spend hours on cardio equipment, but these approaches miss the fundamental point of what leg strength actually means when you're over 60. Real leg strength isn't about how much weight you can lift or how fast you can run on a treadmill. It's about whether you can get up from a chair without using your hands, whether you can climb stairs without holding the railing for dear life, whether you can walk through a grocery store without your legs feeling like jelly, and whether you can maintain your balance when you step on an uneven surface. These are the movements that define your independence and quality of life, and the 5 exercises I'm sharing today directly target these real-world needs. Now, the first exercise that every senior over 60 needs to master is the sit-to-stand movement, which might sound too simple to be effective, but this is actually the single most important functional movement for maintaining independence as you age. Think about how many times a day you sit down and stand up, from your bed in the morning to your kitchen chair at breakfast to your car seat to your living room couch. Every single one of these movements requires coordinated leg strength, and when this strength deteriorates, people start using their arms to push themselves up, which is the beginning of a dangerous downward spiral. Here's how to do this exercise properly. Find a sturdy chair with a seat height that allows your knees to be at about a 90-degree angle when you're seated, and start by sitting all the way back in the chair with your feet flat on the floor about hip width apart. Cross your arms over your chest so you can't use them for assistance. Lean forward slightly from your hips to shift your weight over your feet. Then push through your heels to stand up completely until you're fully upright with your legs straight. The key is to control the movement both on the way up and on the way down. So when you sit back down, you're not just dropping into the chair, but lowering yourself with control using your leg muscles. Start with 3 sets of 8 to 10 repetitions. And if this feels too easy, you can progress by using a lower chair, holding a light weight against your chest, or pausing for a few seconds at the bottom position before standing up. The beauty of this exercise is that it directly trains the exact movement pattern you use dozens of times throughout your day, making it one of the most practical strength-building exercises you can possibly do. The second essential exercise is the heel raise, which targets your calf muscles and is absolutely critical for walking ability and balance. Your calves are responsible for pushing you forward with every step you take, and they also play a huge role in maintaining balance and preventing falls, yet they're often the most neglected muscles in senior fitness programs. Weak calves lead to a shuffling gait where you can't push off properly with each step, which not only makes walking more exhausting, but also significantly increases your fall risk because you're not clearing the ground properly with your feet. To perform heel raises correctly, stand near a wall or sturdy counter where you can lightly touch it for balance if needed, but try not to lean heavily on it. Position your feet about hip width apart, with your weight evenly distributed, then slowly rise up onto the balls of your feet, lifting your heels as high as you comfortably can while keeping your ankles stable and not rolling inward or outward. Hold this top position for a second or two, really feeling your calf muscles working, then slowly lower your heels back down to the floor with control rather than just dropping down quickly. The controlled lowering portion is just as important as the lifting portion because it builds strength throughout the entire range of motion. Aim for 3 sets of 12 to 15 repetitions, and as you get stronger, you can make this more challenging by doing the exercise on one leg at a time, or by standing on the edge of a step so you can lower your heels below the level of your toes for an extended range of motion. Many seniors are shocked at how quickly their walking feels easier and more energetic once they start consistently strengthening their calves with this simple movement. The third exercise that belongs in every senior's leg strengthening routine is the step up, which is one of the best ways to build single leg strength and train the movement pattern you use whenever you climb stairs or step up onto a curb. One of the biggest differences between people who maintain their mobility into their 80s and 90s and those who become dependent on walkers is the ability to generate force with one leg at a time, because almost every real-world movement requires you to support your full body weight on one leg, whether you're walking, climbing stairs, or simply shifting your weight from foot to foot. To do step-ups safely and effectively, you'll need a sturdy step or platform that's somewhere between 4 and 8 inches high to start, and you want to make sure whatever you're using is completely stable and won't slide or tip. Place one foot entirely on the step with your whole foot making contact, not just your toes, then push through that elevated foot to lift your body up onto the step, bringing your other foot up to meet it so you're standing on top of the step with both feet. Then step back down with the same foot that stepped up first, controlling your descent so you're not just dropping down heavily. Complete all your repetitions on one leg before switching to the other leg, and aim for 2 to 3 sets of 6 to 8 repetitions per leg when you're starting out. The most common mistake people make with step-ups is pushing off with their bottom leg instead of truly lifting themselves with the leg that's on the step. So really focus on making that top leg do all the work. As you get stronger, you can gradually increase the height of the step, but there's no need to go higher than the height of a standard stair step, which is usually about 8 inches, because the goal is functional strength, not setting records. The fourth critical exercise is the standing knee lift, which might seem elementary, but is absolutely essential for hip flexor strength and dynamic balance. Your hip flexors are the muscles that lift your knee up toward your chest, and these muscles are crucial for walking, climbing stairs, and getting in and out of cars, yet they weaken significantly with age, especially if you spend a lot of time sitting. Weak hip flexors contribute to that shuffling walk pattern where seniors can't lift their feet properly off the ground, which is a major cause of trips and falls. To perform standing knee lifts, stand near a wall or counter where you can touch it lightly for balance if needed. Then slowly lift one knee up toward your chest as high as you comfortably can while keeping your back straight and your standing leg stable. Hold your knee at the top for a second or two, really feeling your hip flexor muscles working on the lifted leg and your glute and thigh muscles engaging on your standing leg to keep you balanced. Then slowly lower your foot back to the ground with control. The key is to move deliberately and maintain your balance throughout the movement rather than rushing through it or swaying from side to side. Do 2 to 3 sets of 10 to 12 repetitions per leg, and as you get stronger, you can increase the challenge by holding your knee at the top position for longer, by doing the exercise without touching the wall for balance, or by adding a small ankle weight. This exercise is particularly valuable because it simultaneously strengthens your hip flexors, improves your single leg balance, and trains your proprioception, which is your body's awareness of where it is in space. And all of these components are absolutely critical for preventing falls. The fifth and final exercise that completes your essential leg strengthening routine is the wall sit, which is an isometric exercise that builds incredible endurance in your quadriceps, the large muscles on the front of your thighs that are essential for nearly every leg movement you make. While the other 4 exercises involve movement, the wall sit is about holding a position, and this type of training is particularly valuable because it teaches your muscles to sustain force over time, which is exactly what you need when you're standing for extended periods, walking long distances, or maintaining positions during daily activities. To do a wall sit correctly, find a smooth wall and stand with your back against it, then walk your feet out about 1 to 2 feet from the wall and slide your back down the wall until your knees are bent at approximately a 90-degree angle as if you're sitting in an invisible chair. Your thighs should be roughly parallel to the floor, your knees should be directly over your ankles, and your back should remain flat against the wall throughout the hold. Cross your arms over your chest or let them hang at your sides and maintain this position for as long as you can with good form, aiming to build up to 30 to 60 seconds per set. When you first start, you might only be able to hold this position for 10 or 15 seconds, and that's perfectly fine because you'll be amazed at how quickly you progress. Do 2 to 3 sets with about a minute of rest between sets, and if you find the 90-degree angle too challenging at first, you can start with a shallower angle where your knees aren't bent as deeply, then gradually work your way down to the full position as you get stronger. The burning sensation you feel in your thighs during wall sits is completely normal and actually indicates that you're working your muscles effectively. But if you feel any sharp pain in your knees, you should adjust your position by not squatting as deeply or by ensuring your knees aren't extending past your toes. Now that you know these 5 exercises, let me explain why this particular combination is so powerful and how to put them together into a complete routine that will transform your leg strength without overwhelming you. These 5 movements cover all the essential functions your legs need to perform. The sit to stand trains the movement you do most frequently throughout the day. The heel raises ensure you can walk with a strong, purposeful gait. The step-ups build single leg strength for stairs and uneven surfaces. The knee lifts maintain hip flexor strength and balance. And the wall sit develops the muscular endurance you need for sustained activities. Together, they hit every major muscle group in your legs, including your quadriceps, hamstrings, glutes, calves, and hip flexors, and they train both strength and endurance through different movement patterns. The best part is that you can do this entire routine in about 15 to 20 minutes. You don't need any equipment except a chair, a step, and a wall. And you can do it right in your living room without ever setting foot in a gym. For most seniors, doing this routine 3 times per week with at least 1 day of rest between sessions is ideal because it gives your muscles time to recover and get stronger while still providing enough frequency to see steady progress. Let me address some important safety considerations and common mistakes that can prevent you from getting the full benefits of these exercises or potentially cause injury. First and foremost, always warm up before starting these exercises by walking in place for a few minutes or doing some gentle leg swings to get your blood flowing and your joints ready for movement. Never push through sharp pain, which is your body's way of telling you something is wrong, though some muscle burning and fatigue during the exercises is normal and expected. If you have any existing knee, hip, or ankle problems, or if you're recovering from any injury or surgery, you should consult with your doctor or a physical therapist before starting this routine to make sure these exercises are appropriate for your specific situation. One of the biggest mistakes seniors make with leg exercises is sacrificing form for repetitions, thinking that doing 20 sloppy sit-to-stands is better than doing 8 perfect ones, but quality always trumps quantity when it comes to building strength safely and effectively. Another common error is holding your breath during exercises, which can cause your blood pressure to spike and make you feel dizzy, so remember to breathe naturally throughout each movement, exhaling during the exertion phase and inhaling during the easier phase. It's also crucial to progress gradually rather than trying to do too much too soon, because your muscles, tendons, and ligaments need time to adapt to new demands. And if you jump into advanced variations before you're ready, you're much more likely to get hurt and have to take time off, which sets back your progress significantly. Speaking of progression, let's talk about how to know when you're ready to make these exercises more challenging and what that progression should look like. A good general rule is that if you can complete all your prescribed sets and repetitions with good form, and the last few repetitions don't feel particularly challenging, it's time to increase the difficulty. For the sit to stand, you can progress by using a lower chair, adding a pause at the bottom, or holding a light weight. For heel raises, you can move to single leg variations or add a step for increased range of motion. For step-ups, you can use a higher step or hold light dumbbells at your sides. For knee lifts, you can hold the top position longer or let go of your balance support. For wall sits, you can work toward deeper knee bends or longer hold times. The key is to change only one variable at a time, so you can gauge whether the new challenge is appropriate for your current fitness level. Remember that progress isn't always linear, and there will be days when exercises feel harder than usual because you didn't sleep well, you're slightly dehydrated, or you're just having an off day, and that's completely normal and nothing to worry about. What matters is the overall trend over weeks and months, and if you're consistently showing up and putting in the work, you will get stronger. Many seniors ask me how long it takes to see results from this leg strengthening routine. And while individual responses vary based on factors like starting fitness level, nutrition, sleep, and consistency, most people notice improvements within the first 2 to 4 weeks. Initially, the gains you experience are largely neurological, meaning your nervous system is getting better at recruiting muscle fibers and coordinating the movements, which is why exercises often feel dramatically easier in the second and third week, even before you've built much new muscle tissue. After about 4 to 6 weeks of consistent training, you'll start to see actual changes in muscle size and strength. And this is when people typically notice real-world improvements like being able to climb stairs without getting winded, standing up from low chairs with ease, or walking for longer distances without their legs fatiguing. The amazing thing about strength training for seniors is that your muscles retain the ability to grow and get stronger well into your 80s and beyond. And numerous studies have shown that even people in their 90s can make significant strength gains with proper resistance training. This means it's never too late to start, and every week you wait is a week of potential strength gains you're missing out on. Beyond the physical benefits of stronger legs, there are psychological and social benefits that are just as important but often overlooked. When you know your legs are strong and reliable, you feel more confident moving through the world. You're more likely to say yes to social activities that involve walking or standing, and you're less fearful about losing your independence. Many seniors find that as their leg strength improves, they naturally become more active in other areas of their lives because movement feels easier and more enjoyable rather than being something to dread or avoid. Strong legs also reduce your risk of serious injuries from falls, which is crucial because a fall-related hip fracture can be a life-changing event that leads to loss of independence, prolonged hospitalization, and even increased mortality risk. By investing just 15 to 20 minutes 3 times a week into these 5 exercises, you're not just building muscle, you're investing in your future mobility, independence, and quality of life. Let me also touch on the importance of nutrition in supporting your leg strengthening efforts, because you can't build muscle effectively without giving your body the raw materials it needs. Protein is particularly important for seniors because muscle protein synthesis, the process by which your body builds new muscle tissue, becomes less efficient with age, so you actually need more protein per pound of body weight than younger adults to achieve the same muscle building results. Aim for about 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein at each meal from sources like lean meats, fish, eggs, dairy products, or plant-based options like beans and tofu. Staying well hydrated is also crucial because even mild dehydration can impair muscle function and recovery, so make sure you're drinking water throughout the day, not just during exercise. Additionally, getting adequate vitamin D and calcium is important for bone health, which goes hand in hand with muscle strength in maintaining mobility and preventing fractures. So to recap everything we've covered today, these 5 exercises, the sit to stand, heel raises, step-ups, standing knee lifts, and wall sits, form a complete leg strengthening program that addresses all the functional movements and muscle groups you need to maintain independence and mobility as you age. You now have a practical, equipment-free routine you can start today that will build real strength in just 15 to 20 minutes, 3 times per week. If you found this information valuable and you're ready to take control of your leg strength and mobility, make sure to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss future videos on senior fitness and healthy aging. Hit that like button if this video helped you understand exactly what exercises you should be focusing on, and leave a comment below telling me which of these 5 exercises you're most excited to try, or what other senior fitness topics you want me to cover next. Remember, strong legs equal independence, and independence equals freedom to live life on your terms. So start today and keep showing up for yourself, because you absolutely deserve to feel strong and capable at any age.